Going live. This is our Q&A number 1. We're testing it out. Hopefully this will be a fun time. So yeah, here we are down at ZIMM'S Guitars, and this is my first attempt at this live stream. Hello everybody, although nobody's on yet. Let's see, let me see if I can read in my top comments right here. Hold on, here we go, guys. This is gonna be fun, right? Check this thing out, right? Okay, so let me get my mouse. It's running away from me. It's trying to get rid of here. Brian, let me ask you a question right here.
Sure.
What's up, guys? So I'm gonna come here for a second. Hey, my son's gonna help me out. He's my IT guy. This right here. Should I just hit not now on that? I'm good.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
All right. So, Frank, I need to replace my humbucker springs. Oh, man. I know exactly what you're saying. That is the worst part of changing pickups out, is those little springs. What I find out a lot of times is you try different pickups, have different screws, and they're all different sizes, and it's a real hassle. So you have to just, keep experimenting with, you know, once you get the screws that fit in the pickups just right, save those things. Don't lose those when you're getting new springs on there. Lots of fun, Frank, but good luck with that. Hey, Albert, what is up, my friend? Albert says, I hate the Seymour Duncans that are the only ones that fit in Seymour Duncan pickups. I know it. Why don't they make them all the same size? It would make it easier on us. So. Yeah, it's a real hassle. Now, this thing came in. When I got this guitar, it had Seymour Duncans in it. And somebody had to put big, huge nuts and bolts in this. They actually had nuts on the back of the pickup. So, yeah, it was quite a hassle. Yeah, they do that. The pickups rock back and forth. See that? And these are cheap pickups. This is just a double slug pickups where you don't even have the adjustable pole pieces. So these kind of cheapies, but it's one of those cheapy guitars, and that's how it goes. Hey, I got my friend down here, so you guys all know him from some of my videos. Come over here, man. Have a seat. We got Niels down here today, and we're experimenting with our first Q&A live stream. So come poke your head in here for a second, Neil. Neil helps me do a lot of videos, you guys can see. He's always helps me do some Harley Benton stuff. There's Neil. Yeah, big, huge nuts. So again, I appreciate you guys being on. Let's see what happens with this. Probably going to have to sit and do this for a while. Yeah, big, huge nuts on a Squire Strat. Do a flip. Oh, you want me to? Okay, here's my flip. Woo! So anyhow, guys, I thought I'd come on here and experiment with this. My channel is growing. I don't know, 1,600 subscribers now. Still a very tiny little channel, but for some old guy like myself sitting in my guitar shop, this is going to be a lot of fun for me to do this every once in a while. The reason Neil comes down here is because every Friday at 3 o'clock, we sit here and together we watch the Philip McKnight's live stream that he starts at 3 o'clock, and it's about 2:35 right now. So so I'm going to sit here and chat with you guys for a few minutes. So Frank's got a loose humbucker on a Squire Strat. Yeah. You can try putting bigger, heavier springs in there, but where you buy those, I have no idea. You don't want to go to a Guitar Center and get them. It's going to be all kinds of money to get that. You should do a giveaway, but make it rigged in my favor. I might do that. I'm allowed to do whatever I want most of the time. What do you think I ought to give away? This thing? This is a copy. So a friend of mine, his name is Rob, and he paints guitars, and this is the AZR. So I think it's got something to do with Arizona Rob or something, but he painted this. And it's kind of a fun thing. Frank says, what do you think of the Hendrix Monterey Strat? I haven't played one. I think I saw him out at NAMM. I know it's got the red stock, and I think they're really cool guitars. Anything Fender, I love it. Anything and everything Fender. I just you know what? I made a trade today. Let me show you guys the guitar. You know, will you do me a favor and hand me that acoustic out of that case right there? My buddy Neil, he comes down here and works for free. You remember the High Infidelity movie where they had a bunch of guys went down to the record store and they just hung out, and I made them do stuff, made them work. Let me show you guys a guitar that I got. And because I buy, sell, and trade. So that's kind of the fun thing when you have a little guitar shop. The fun thing is you just never know what is going to walk in the store. So this thing walked in the store today. And it's by Gibson. And it's, what would you call that? The Nouveau? Pronounce that for me.
Nouveau, yeah.
Yeah, a Gibson Nouveau. And there it is. So I'm seeing it like reversed. But I just got this in a trade today. And so, you know, again, I'm in Phoenix, Arizona, and maybe some of you guys know that. Albert says the best dealer in Phoenix. But I just got this guitar today, and it's a Gibson. And so, you know, it's on that police hold for a month or 20 days or whatever it is. But it will be available. And it is a Gibson. Albert says, best dealer in Phoenix. Albert, thank you for that. Who saw the new Motley Crue movie on Netflix, The Dirt? It was pretty good. I watched it, and it was pretty good. I've been listening to the first Motley album. Even today, I listened to it, and it brought back a lot of good memories. It was a good story. It's hard to pack the whole story of Motley Crue into 90 minutes, but that's when I grew up, man. My first, what I will say is the first time I ever saw Motley Crue was at the US Festival in 1983. And yeah, I actually went to that, and there was, they were the second band to go on. So there was Quiet Riot opened the show, and all these dudes had Bang Your Head t-shirts on, and I'm like, Bang Your Head? Well, I don't know what that means. But then Motley Crue came on second, And I was so 300,000 people. I was so far up the hill and just so wrapped up into all the people and everything that was going on there. I didn't give them much listening time. You know what I'm saying? I was just having the party. It was a awesome party. And but they played a Motley Crue song. They played Helter Skelter. So that's the reason that I reckon. Oh, wow, I recognize that song. They're doing a Beatles. They're doing Helter Skelter. So that was my first thoughts about Motley Crue. So of course, the Shout at the Devil album was already out. One thing I will say about the movie is they made it seem like Motley got this record deal just for playing the Whiskey a Go-Go a half a dozen times. But that first album was self-produced, and they recorded that with their own budget. They distributed that with their own time and money, and basically walking up and down Sunset Strip selling their albums. And they sold like, I don't know how many they sold, but they sold like 40,000 albums before they got a record deal, just on their own, just playing the clubs. So it didn't happen as quickly for them. And again, Quiet Riot is the reason that the LA music scene even took off, because in spring of 1983, Come On and Feel the Noise went to #1, and that opened up the floodgates for the LA hair metal scene. Nice guy, Eddie. Man, I've seen you around. 9-volt battery or power supply preference for pedals? I would have to say power supply is my preference, but it is a hassle where you have to plug them in, all that kind of stuff. It is a hassle, and sometimes just putting fresh batteries in all your stuff. I went and saw Thor playing with 68 guns, and Thor helped me do that BC Rich video that I did on the Buddy Blaze. It was not a BC Rich. It's a Dean. My Dean Buddy Blaze video. Thor helped me do that. And he just I went and watched him play. He just put brand new fresh 9-volt batteries in his 2 or 3 pedals. And so, I don't know. I don't really have much of a preference on what I like to use, but they're all the same to me, as long as you got juice to that thing, right? Molly was good live for sure, even later. Yeah, I went and saw Motley down in the Phoenix Memorial Coliseum, probably in the Dr. Feelgood era. And the one thing I remember about the show, it was at the Coliseum, and I was sitting up on the side, looking sort of down at the sound booth area where the sound guy was at and everything. And I saw Heather Locklear standing there, and that was the cool thing about the Motley Crue show, is I could see Heather Locklear when they were married, and so that was kind of neat. Yeah, Frank's asking about strings. Having this guitar shop, I've been down here for almost 3 years now, and I'm an Ernie Ball dealer. But just last week, I became a Dunlop dealer. So those are the only 2 accounts that I have for strings right now. So if you come in my shop, I'm going to sell you Ernie Balls, or I'm going to sell you Dunlop. And there's a lot of stuff that Dunlop is doing now. Of course, they got all those great wah-wah pedals. They also sell Way Huge pedals, and they also sell MXR pedals. And so I got lots of MXR cables now. And so, yeah, we're doing some Dunlop stuff, and I can get Dunlop pedals now and MXR pedals. So there you go. The Buddy Blaze is a really sweet guitar, man. And it plays like a dream. I wish I could shred on guitar, but I can't. I'm just kind of a strummer. And what's your favorite toe boy? I don't know. Nice guy, Eddie. I was a union stagehand for 19 years. Saw a lot of good and bad. Motley was always the good show, but after Vince came back, their tour crew was really shady. Yeah, so nice guy Eddie did a lot of stagehand work. I never got into the stagehand stuff. I always wanted to be the kind of guy that got on stage. I always wanted to be in the band, not working for the band. I did some stuff for as far as running sound at bar gigs and stuff like that. I did do that kind of stuff. And one time I snuck into Iron Maiden out at the Compton Terrace. And I pulled my truck in there in the afternoon. I said, yeah, I'm with Special Staging Services, extra roadie or whatever. And they let me in. So I like hid behind the stage almost all night. I didn't have a pass. And Iron Maiden's manager looked at me and he's like, where's your pass? And I'm like, that's it. So I hid behind the stage all night. But that's about the most roadieing I ever did. What do you guys think of Dickie Betts as a guitar player? He was a generation before my time, but I've listened to a lot of it, and the Allman Brothers is great stuff. Do I have eyebrows? No, basically I do not have hardly any eyebrows. There's a little bit on here. You want to hear my eyebrow story, guys? Here's what happened. I back in about the year 2000, so 19 years ago, I was in a Cure tribute band. So I did the Robert Smith. And so one weekend, I dyed my hair jet black, and I dyed my eyebrows jet black. And for that weekend, we had a show. It was awesome, but I had jet black hair. And all weekend long, it was great. My eyebrows, I looked really good. And I woke up Monday morning, I looked at myself in the mirror, and I said, what did I do? So I literally shaved my head. I had the whole Britney Spears moment. I shaved my head and I shaved my eyebrows off. And I'm kind of one of those hairless guys already anyhow. So yeah, they barely grew back in. But yeah, that's my eyebrows. So. My local dealer suggested Dunlop strings, and that's all I use. I know heavy core and the Trujillo, the bass player from Metallica. His bass strings are great. I can get the wah pedal that he has now. But yeah, I think Dunlop strings are awesome. And here's the thing. This is kind of, I consider my store a $300 guitar shop. All my stuff is used. I don't have brand new PRSs. I have the kind of stuff that people trade in. So I don't get too many Gibsons. I don't get too many high-end stuff. And every guy that comes in here, they're like, hey, what's your cheapest pack of strings that you have? And I'm like, Ernie Balls. So Dunlop is very much the same price where you can get a set of strings for $5 or something. So that's why I went with Dunlop. When I was out at NAMM, I got business cards for Diodario, but they're kind of expensive. So I maybe just seeing how things go with the Dunlop and the Ernie Ball. Ernie Balls, I sell these babies right here all day long, the Super Slinkies and the regular Slinkies. But my local dealer only sells meth. I haven't gotten into that avenue yet. So Kenny Wayne Shepherd. I watched some Joe Bonamassa on that 2019 cruise, and Kenny Wayne Shepherd was on the boat with him. And this I watch tons of YouTube videos. So this was only about last month, and he did a great rendition of Voodoo Child, and he did a song with Samantha Fish, and I saw him open for the Van Halen show 4 or 5 years ago, and he's got Stevie Ray Vaughan's old drummer. So yeah, Kenny Wayne Shepherd is freaking awesome, and he plays very much like Stevie Ray Vaughan, where he uses a heavy string. His action on his guitar is kind of high, and he really digs in. He really fights it good. So, yeah, love Kenny Wayne Shepherd. But guys, it's almost 3 o'clock, and so I'm going to call it. But man, I really appreciate you guys doing this, and I want to thank Neil for hanging out with me today, and I want to thank my son for helping me get things fired up. And so if I decide to do another one, I'm going to post it on my channel, ZIMM'S Guitars on my channel. I'll post a little header that it tells you when you're going to do it. But I'm kind of thinking right now, maybe we should try for a Friday at 2 o'clock, because Fridays are kind of quiet down here most of the time. But I don't know for sure. But Eddie, thanks for being on here. And Frank and Icepick, thanks for being on here, guys. And we'll talk at you guys later. Thanks.